the Trevor Jackson podcast.
You just recently had a conversation with Ross, man. I don't know where this conversation is gonna go, but it's
Yeah, I did about the new album. He said it looked expensive.
I heard him say that.
Expensive. Right.
Damn.
Because I didn't want to ask him questions about, that you're going to be the topic of discussion when music comes out with a certain artist with Drake because of,
Mhm.
just really touching on that just slightly though.
Yeah.
Um, just talking to him, it's like when he tells you it's going to be expensive, it's like I'm showing you this side of a luxury that is needed. And I told him, I said, listening to some of it, it kind of felt like Rich Forever. It kind
Mm.
it kind of felt like Rich Forever for me is one of those projects that I think is one of his best because of look who he feet like
That
look
was a
what he had,
mixtape too, but
like you had Styles P, you got Nas on records. Like this is what we that when he said it looks expensive, it will if it's expensive as Richard Forever, now we talking.
yeah. Yeah,
But
because
yeah,
Rich Forever to me
hmm
wasn't an album, that was a mixtape.
it was a mixtape. It wasn't an album. Wasn't. And that's what we were talking about. And shout out to the coalition DJs for the national call and,
Salute.
and being able to talk to Ross and have that conversation of, he's celebrating 20 years of Port of Miami.
Mm.
He got
Times.
an album that's 20 years old.
Damn. Every
20
day.
years.
Yeah, that's a classic album too.
I
So
push it, I push. I
yeah.
grind and I grind. Port of Miami is 20 years old.
Hmm.
And so when you hear lines like what Drake say about Aiden Ross, it's like,
Do you
well,
think that who was Drake's best collaborator? I know my opinion is Rick Ross.
I think Ross.
Some will say Future. I say Ross.
I say Ross.
Me too.
I say Ross. Think about Aston Martin music. It ain't the same without Drake.
Dice Pineapples.
It ain't the same without Drake.
It's other records I can't stay scheming with
It
French.
ain't the same without Drake. It ain't the same without Ross though.
That's facts.
But it ain't the same without Drake.
You weren't with me shooting in the gym. Oh,
It wasn't the same without it ain't the same without
they
Drake.
both, they both was needed.
They both I got one for you. I'm feeling so thrilled. I ain't been this way since I was 18.
Yeah, that was it ain't the same. Lord knows. Yeah, they got records, man.
They got records.
They got big records too,
They got
Paul.
records together. They don't have,
Hmm.
they don't just have a one hit. They got hits.
Did you see any of the verses with him in French?
I caught a glimpse of it, man. I caught a glimpse of it. And the parts I was seeing where you cutting a lot of Drake. There's a lot of Drake records in that
Yeah,
bag.
he said some things about Drake too. He said, "Cut little man off."
Cut little man off.
You know why his beef started with Drake?
Mhm.
Because he was defending French. But at the end of that, French said that he ain't got no smoke with Drake. He don't, you know what I mean? Him and Drake still friends. And Rick Ross had this to say right quick.
Drake, if you listening to this, homie, listen to me. My nigga, shine. I don't want to see you lose. No real nigga want to see you lose. That ain't what niggas about. This culture, this game, this rap shit, this ain't what it's about. I don't want to see you lose. Real niggas just want to see real niggas shine together. Real niggas come up together. You understand? When I was the number one nigga in the rap game, I showed niggas love. When French was on fire, he showed niggas love.
It's true. It's true though. Like, cause you know, when I was doing the interview with him, I try to stay away from that question with him, and I let two men, you know, handle whatever they gotta handle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's in all reality that, you know, you don't want to see him lose. He don't. The records they got together
That's gonna keep him paid for life. The
for
records they got
life,
together.
for life.
But you know, that statement, you know, he backtracked that statement after he said that this is the article. I'm gonna play the article for you and read it to you, but I'm gonna keep going with a few of these clips because Rory and Mal, do you tap in with their podcast sometimes?
Now those were the guys that used to be on Joe Budden's podcast, and they did their own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what Rory had to say, and he's a Caucasian guy. You know, I ain't a fan
Okay.
of nobody, so I ain't defending Ross, Rory, Mal, nobody.
Yeah. You got an unbiased opinion. Bro, I just knew they was on Joe Budden's podcast. I know that. I know that they got their own platform now.
Listen what he said about the beef that Rick Ross had with Drake.
Can we finally admit that Rick Ross is weird?
Why? Why do you say that?
We didn't put enough light into how weird it was that Rick Ross entered into that rap beef. Like, why are you in this whole thing? And then you came up with an excuse that it was because Drake didn't clear his verse for French Montana's album, which made all the sense in the world because everyone was waiting for Drake to say something in the biggest moment, and it wasn't about to be a verse he did 10 months ago. Mm-hmm. And then French Montana is sitting next to him going like, "No, I was fine with it." Mm-hmm. So what the fuck are you doing, Rick Ross?
But
You're finding any way to just get in this shit, and now you're telling, yo, I want to see you win, homie. Shut up. Shut up. He's one of my favorite rappers. He's hilarious. His discography is incredible. But that's some weirdo, like, that's super weird.
We said it was weird for him to do that. We said he was trying to capitalize at the moment. He shot a video for the song with a bunch of Bel Air around him. Like, people were trying to capitalize in the moment. Like, we knew what that was.
I understand the Metro thing, and there's women involved, Weekend, there's exes involved, and maybe Drake fucked someone's baby mother, or there's some slimy shit going on with women, because that's usually how things get to this point. Rick Ross said, oh, he didn't clear a verse for French, so fuck him. I'm in this now. After he gave me all my #1 records.
Yeah, I mean.
That's like, that. Everyone else, I understood why, even if it wasn't a great reason, I understood why the 20v1 existed and everything in the history with Drake and certain artists. Rick Ross, who's his mans, just entered into that beef.
I'm trying to find. You agree? You agree with that, Tay?
It came out of left field though with Ross, like, cause you start thinking about it, just thinking.
Yeah,
bro, y'all don't hit records with each other.
Why?
That's why and then when you hear, I feel like Rory and Mal, they like analysts. They're analyzing the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you hear it from somebody that's analyzing and thinking about, bro, yeah, they got a whole bunch of records with you. So you do a versus, you don't even want to hear this man on the records that you are on.
Yeah.
Because you said your man had a problem with it and he didn't have a problem with it.
He didn't have a problem with it, but you got a problem with it. That's weird.
Why would you have a problem if he don't have?
And you know who Mal's brother is, don't you?
Biggs Burke, Kareem Biggs Burke.
Kareem Biggs Burke, who is 1/3 of Rockefeller that started the company with Jay-Z and Dame Dash.
Sean Carter, Jay-Z, and Kareem Biggs Burke, who I'm a huge follower of Big Burke.
You are?
Huge.
So you rock with Big Burke then, I guess.
I do, because of he's probably one of the most quotable people in the world, I think. He's gotta be. Just some of the stuff some of the stuff he has said, like, some of the stuff that Biggs Burke has said it resonates with me, man. Like, he's one of the most quotable, like, people. Biggs Burke. Like, let me see if I got this quote. I'm so glad you asked it too. Kareem Biggs Burke. This one is one I got. They laughed at the process. Now they're watching the product. Time spent well matters more than money spent well.
Because time is more valuable than money.
Thank you. Learn to recognize the patterns before they become another regret. Like he just look. Experience taught me that access doesn't equally alignment. Experience taught me that access doesn't equal alignment.
So you can have access with no experience and not be aligned. But if you experienced and you got that access, then not saying that you're going to automatically align, but the alignment will be better because the experience matters.
I got another one for you. Problems are universal. Character is revealed by how you choose to answer them.
Oh, that brother cooking.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a big like whenever I need this I need to open my mind a little bit.
The chakras.
Dude, every mistake you survived became tuition for the wisdom you paid for.
Yeah, he's speaking that lingo. That he's giving the world some powerful messaging, some thoughts that's coming through to help people get an understanding.
And then I'm gonna leave you with this one. This is the last one. Your story isn't written by the fall. It's the strength of your return.
Get back up, nigga. Keep going.
I'm telling you, Biggs Burke. When you said Kareem Biggs Burke, I'm definitely that Rockefeller era.
I like all of them brothers. Biggs Burke,
I
Dame
do
Dash, Dave, Jay-Z.
too.
You know,
I can't say it back like that. That's what I was raised on.
Yeah. You haven't heard none of the stuff that Rick Ross had to say, did you?
I've been catching bits and pieces because remember, like I wasn't even in the interview. All we talking about is Port of Miami.
Yeah, I know not that interview, and you be working, so you probably ain't tapped into what's going on in the culture from this aspect.
But you know why? You know why? Because you got the Trevor Jackson podcast, and they tell you.
Yeah, I gotta be tapped. I'm tapped into everything moving.
The Trevor Jackson podcast. That's where I'm gonna find out all this information at, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe, man.
Let me play you this audio of Rick Ross and what he had to say about Biggs Burke, who didn't even acknowledge him. I played the clip of Rory and Mal, his little brother, saying what they had to say, which we just already agreed to. It was valid. Yeah. Why are you jumping in this beef with Drake?
It's very valid.
So Ross went and spoke about the big brother after the little brother said what he had to say. The big brother ain't even said nothing. Let's play the audio.
I see why Joe Buttons fired you losers. You niggas wanted equity. How dare you minions? Everybody log into Joe Buttons. Now Rory and Mally, and let Biggs Burke know the boss waiting for him to come kiss the ring. Minions. Niggas losers. Biggs' brother was Biggs' brother sucking on the dicks of his Biggs' brother. What's their name? Rory Mal. This what I'm gonna do. I want to talk about Biggs Burke. That nigga, what? He ain't pay his taxes. How he went broke. What he was doing. He got caught with 20 bags of weed. Some shit like that. He say he had none of the royalties, none of the business, none of the money. Man, I'll make Dame go in on y'all niggas. You glazers, dick-sucking little peons. Biggs' brother was Biggs' brother sucking all the dicks at her. That's how hustlers and street niggas do it, man. Nigga gonna target those niggas. Not the niggas who ain't even get chairs to sit down. Not the niggas who get $300 Zelles to talk. No, nigga. Biggs brother, he gonna want to call me? Come kiss the ring of the boss, nigga. It's a beautiful morning, perfect time to feed yourself the knowledge. The knowledge. What's that? Rory Mal, get off your knees. Get the testicles out of your mouth now. I don't know which one, the white one or the black one. Y'all both the same. Rory Mal, the Glazers. The Glazers. How y'all feel now? You know, Drake just committed suicide. I'm sure he'll retire next month. How is his lawsuit doing? How is the Drake University lawsuit coming? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I didn't listen to YouTube, man, last night. I'm just going by what you guys say.
I'm gonna read a little bit of this to you because you know something happened after he did all of that talking about Biggs Burke and his brother and stuff like that, Rory and Mal's brother. So Rick Ross has been beefing with Rory and Mal over their glaze of Drake, and he roped in Rory and Mal's big brother, Biggs Burke, to mixed results. Ross tried to bury the hatchet with his former collaborator Drake in recent weeks, but that all went down the drain on Iceman Dropped when the sixth guy released his album. Even aimed at the latter brother, Kareem Biggs Burke, he, the co-founder of Rockefeller, and Rozay retracted his criticism of him online, which was apparently amusing for Mal. Via Twitter last night, he posted a slew of crying, laughing emojis. This followed a lot of social media discussion and debate about Ross disses, especially after he dragged Biggs into it. While this isn't an explicit connection to that situation, it's hard to imagine he's talking about anyone else. With this cackling tweet, it's clear the podcast hosts are mostly ignoring the situation, although their co-host Zip went on a comical rant against the Maybach Music Group mogul on their show recently. We will see if anyone else adds anything to this saga. For now, it seems like a random internet spat that will go away eventually. Rick Ross comments on Big Burke, but Rick Ross, at the end of the day, fam, he was unaware of who he was talking to. And I'm gonna play a little bit of this apology. He apologized to Big Burke after he said all of that.
I want to say this. Hey, Biggs Burke, you got somebody that love you. You got somebody that really love you. I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, oh, and I love that person too. So, but you other dick sucking minions.
Who made him make a public apology?
Hove up, hove up, hove up, hove up, hove up, hove up, hove up.
Hove made the call and made Ross publicly apologize, didn't he?
Think about this. You remember Biggs is always saying redo 96 on all of his quotes, redo 96.
Mm-hmm.
And 96, that's Reasonable Doubt, that's Jay, that's Dame, that's the Holy Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
You got somebody that loves you, and I love him too. Think about this. If Ross ever says, Hove, think about the records they got together.
Ross called that nigga and said, this is who invested in my career initially. And you on the internet not knowing who you talking to or talking about, I need a public apology. Immediately.
Because you know what I don't like? I don't like if you disrespect me publicly and you apologize to me in private. I want you to have the same animosity that you showed on a public platform that you had about with me, Don't apologize to me privately. Go on your public platform the way you did it, because it's like you didn't respect that man. You didn't. You
He
didn't.
ain't even say nothing about you.
He didn't even say nothing about you.
You know, they got the song Freemasons too. This is an ideology of masonry to me that you know, if you what you do in the light, you know, what you do in the dark, well, what you do in the light, you got to keep it in the light. You see what I'm saying? That's why the public apology is something that is that shows me some things, basically.
Yeah. Well, you know, and even in that, you know, it's kind of like what's done in the darkness, you know, will come to light. It will come to light. And that's just a lot of unpacked right there. You disrespected somebody who is a close confidant to a man you've done records with. That's the only person I can think of.
And what they said wasn't even wrong. French Montana ain't mad. Why are you mad? You're trying to capitalize off of the moment. I love Rick Ross's catalog. He's a phenomenal rapper. But in closing, I'm gonna just say he's been on some crazy stuff as of recently, some buffoonery.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of why I just wanted to be about the music, because the entertainment side for me, because I know a lot of DJs wanted to ask that question. I can't do it. It's like, nah, because I want to hear the music, Trev. But no, great. That was a great way to close it, because it's like you're trying to seize the moment for the attention.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.